Just want to share with you briefly why we're doing this series, right? So often we hear and believe that, boy, sometimes we have to choose between academics, our friends, and ministry. But for the next 3 weeks, I want you to just stay with us as we understand and learn that God is still doing the unimaginable. And we have one life to live. And that one life that we have to live, we live it as a Christian. We live it for Jesus Christ. And as long as he's on the throne, as the scripture said, all other things, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all other things will be added unto you. And as you hear the lives of these 3 regular, ordinary young people who choose each day, and they're not perfect, they choose to still live, as a Christian and still do academics, do work, do friends, do relationships, everything else. But they put the commitment to Jesus Christ surpasses all other commitments. So just bear with us tonight and the other weeks as you hear and ask questions. So that is why we're doing this series. And before I go, I want us to just introduce our other person, our moderator, who will be taking us through the interview series tonight. Her name is so special. I love her name so much, Darling. I wish that was my name, but I like when people call me Darling. You know, she has been a Christian since she was 9 years old. She's married for over 20 years. She has 2 sons. She tells me 2. Yes, one a 15-year-old and another which she inherited. One by marriage, you know, another one she inherited. And she is 51 years old. She has a heart for young people. I love her so much. A wonderful sister and friend. She has a heart for young people. So help me make welcome Sister Stacey, darling. Auntie Stacey.
Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? I'm breaking up because I was breaking up before.
You're not breaking up. You look very plain and straight and cool. Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. Good night, good night, good night. And welcome everyone to this fabulous series. This is the series that you really don't want to miss. You want to tune in. You want to pay attention to this young man. This young man, a man of God, young man of God, stressing that, community development officer at the Housing Agency of Jamaica, overcomer president, praise and worship leader. Listen to me, people. Tune in because we are going to be talking to none other than Mr. Martin Fowler. Martin, welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you feeling today?
Oh, well, good evening, everyone, and hi, Stacey. I am feeling good. Excited about what's to come.
Wonderful. You have a story to tell. What they would say, you have a story to spread yard and broad. And we have people who want to hear, who want to know, what is this unimaginable thing that has happened to this young man that I need to hear? Okay, so tell me a little bit about yourself. Who is Martin Fowler?
Right, so Martin Fowler is a focused, very soft-spoken, but a guy who gets the job done. Yeah. I am very involved. I try to get myself occupied with constructive things as best as possible, and I can say I'm just an easygoing, extraordinary young man.
I love that. For you easygoing and extraordinary people, listen. Martin is the man. I have watched this young man grow. I've admired him. And now I'm going to get to know him a little deeper too, as we all listening. What is your favorite childhood memory, Martin?
Right. So my favorite childhood memory would be some of the games that would play back when I lived in Corville Gardens. So there was this circle, and like all the kids on that block, we would just come together. We play cricket, we would play hide and seek, football, you name it, and we just running up and down. Saturdays was my favorite day, because you never had much homework to do. You just link up everybody by say about 12, thereabout. So it might be hot, but we're playing.
Yes.
So yeah, that was my fondest memory.
Wonderful. And are you an only child?
No, I have an older sister on my mother's side.
Okay, so older sister, now you have to go find other people your age to ramp with.
She's
All
all
right, right. I can understand why that childhood memory would have been a good one for you. Wonderful. All right, so you say you're focused, Martin, right? So what I want to ask you some serious questions first, and then we just kick back.
All right.
All right with that?
I'm okay with that.
Very good. All right. So what trait is it that you most value in your peers?
My peers.
You seem so focused. When you hang around your peers, what is that value that trait that is most valuable to you?
I would say honesty and loyalty, because like I think I do that. I do the same, and I just like when that's reciprocated. And so when I can trust you, when I can rely on you, I definitely look out for that. So yeah, that's what I would say. Those are the traits that I look for.
Wonderful. All right, so we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of things now. We want to know some big things. As a young man growing up, and you said you grew up in Corville?
Yeah, well, okay. the thing is with my I grew up in several communities. So
tell me about those, then. Tell me about some of those, man. That's all an interesting part. Tell me about some of those.
All right, so as you know, live in a rented home with mommy and sister for most of my life. So we started in Harborview. So that's where I started. There, I didn't have the community and the group and everything. So I was like by myself, occupying my imagination with whatever is around the place. And then afterwards we moved to Corville Gardens. That's where I found peers, I found persons to play with and so on. And then from that I got older, stopped playing so much, and that we moved to other as well.
Okay, so you said you speak of your mom and you speak of your sister. Where's Daddy in the picture?
Daddy is there, but not as often. So you might not hear me say Daddy or X, Y, and Z, but he will chip in every now and then. But the most significant, persons would be mommy and my sister, because we grow together and we've been through the struggles together. Yeah. So you'd hear me talk about them more.
Okay, I understand that.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, so with him chipping in and out, right, and growing up in well, basically, you would have most of your formative years would have been in Corville. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So were there any challenges? So tell me about some of the little challenges that you may have experienced during those formative years that you would want to share with the our participants or audience.
All right. So mommy is a chef. My sister is also a cook. So I wouldn't say this is a challenge, but food was there. There was a season where, and I was stout. I was a chubby young man back then. Persons might not have known this, but
you have 2 cooks. You live with 2 cooks.
Yeah, right. So food was like there on demand, regular and thing. But along the way, the economy changed, and the entire cooking sector just varied. So the finances in the household, it kind of dwindled ever so often, and because of that, some of the challenges that I would have faced is, I would have been used to certain things, but then I noticed the quality of things dwindled over time. Not because of any particular reason, but things happen, and things get a little bit more strained, so you have to cut down. Like I remember one time mommy used to cuss me, say you always have eat 2 meat, now you have to settle with 1, so those are the adjustments where I have to adjust to that.
Yes. I have a friend that like to say he like meat, he like to eat a lot of meat, so maybe you are that kind of guy So when mommy telling us a one piece, you just can't fathom that one piece of meeting not going to work. So tell me about 11-year-old Martin. I'm interested in 11-year-old Martin Fowler because I want to hear some of your school life. What were you like before high school and just as you enter high school? I want to hear about that Martin Fowler. So I'm pulling you out, Martin. That's really what I'm doing, and I'm trying to get into the nitty-gritty to see why and what so unimaginable happened in your life that we need to share. Tell me about you. What happened there?
11-year-old Martin Fowler was like all play, all play, all play, all play, all play. So Georgia Lake Primary, but at that time, racing was the thing of the day. So I started Georgia Lake in 5th grade, but by 11 I would have been in what? Yeah, 6th grade about, yeah. Preparing for GSAT and so on. But as you know, when you're just playing alone and you know, mommy might not be there to, yeah, because mommy at work, so she work in the night. So the person being there to say go in and study would have been like, you know, some of the elderly persons within the community say, you guys not work for going inside and study a book and I'm looking something, but you know, I never take heed and things. So I was one of those child who just love eat, love play, but never necessarily take the bookwork too serious. So that was 11-year-old Martin, you know, going about thinking it's
happy go lucky,
never have
his own thing
to do, you know, that's living.
You never have any chores?
Not much.
That sounds like a good life. I would have loved to be you. No chore.
But there was a point where mommy say, you know what? You play too much, you dirty the clothes too much. Come to the bath pan there and the clothes them. Go wash the clothes up.
Smart mommy. What age was that? Let me see if I can take any leave out of mommy book there.
So I think that turning point happened in like 6th grade. 6th grade was a turning point, both with chores and play and everything, and even academics. Because I would say, so yeah, you know, play a lot, so clothes get dirty, and the dirtier they got, the more often I am asked to wash them, you know, and things. I learned to wash at that age, and then mommy just say, you know what, you're gonna wash everything now, and I had to. And that's just mommy, you know, when she implement things and you just have to adjust. You just have to adjust. Say, yo, you'd have to do this. And another thing happened, you know, because you know you're playing and stuff, never really settled down too much. So, you know, GSAT came, your day exam, and you kind of say, boy, the life is not all about playing. So all of my friends, them, you know, them are studying one of them things, pass the Arden and the traditional high schools and those things. And I never really, I didn't pass off traditional high school. I passed off Pembroke High. And for me, that was like a turning point, you know, where people would always say it, you know, you'd have friends who would play with you, but when them go home and them inside, them beat the books. When me know, I just watch cartoon and not necessarily.
How did that make you feel though?
Bad. I didn't cry, but
how did that make you feel, Martin?
Bad. I internalized it and I was like, wow. And mommy said to me, you know, she always give the hard truth, say, you know, you're going to Pembroke and you're gonna do your best. I'm not gonna transfer you. Because I was like, I was saying, you know, I'm glad I didn't pass out one particular non-traditional high school, but still, you know, mommy said she was not gonna transfer me. You're gonna go to Pembroke. It's not where you go, it's what you do. So
there you go. What you do while you're there. Yes. Yeah. So could that be considered one of your most painful experience?
Yes. It was.
So you made a turning at that point.
Yeah.
How did you overcome that? How did you overcome it?
All right. So coming to the realization that, you know, not studying, not buckling down, I saw the result of that very early. So I changed that routine. And then another thing at Pembroke is that we had prize giving. And then the prize giving, the first time, you know, I came second in my class. I got badges, and that was like it showed me first that, you know, I'm able to achieve, I'm able to do well. And then it encouraged me. It gave me something to aim at each year. And then it also reinforced the fact that, Martin, you're able to excel academically in your academics. So each year I aim to study and ensure that, as even one of the boys in my class, to ensure that we beat the girls and to at least be a part of prize giving each year. And I think I was able to do that. Each year I got an award, whether it's for science or different subjects, and that just keep repetition of awards and seeing the very small, you know, the smallest recognition that, you know, I'm one of the guys who is contending with the girls, because the girls always beating the guys, always coming first on those things. And yeah, that really helped. And then the biggest turning point as it is to academics was when I did math in, I started it in 9th grade, but I sat the exam in 10th grade, and I was able to get a grade 2. And that was, yeah.
So it showed you that you can do this.
Yeah.
Very good, very good.
It really just changed the whole narrative that I had about myself.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So when you finished, when you got to 5th form, did you go to 6th form?
Yes. So when I finished Prembocol, I finished Prembocol with 7 subjects. So I had the math, and then I did 5 more, and the quality of those grades are, I got 4 1s and 3 2s, and that was another thing that just say, you know, wow. I think it was the most ones in that Prembocol saw, most ones in S, and then one of the biggest ones was the one in chemistry. They didn't see a 1 in a good while, you know. And
wow. Awesome. At what age did you become a child of God?
Age 18, when I went to Meadowbrook.
Okay. What changed why you made that decision at that age?
So Martin was never a troublemaker. And I think persons would always think that I was a Christian, and because you wouldn't necessarily see me doing anything out of order. And think I'll go to class, so on, see me, I wear, my pants below my waist or so on. But I remember I was in the library studying, and 2 of my classmates, 2 females, they came to me and they asked me, "Are you a Christian?" And I said no. And they were like surprised. I thought, and they were saying, I thought you were a Christian. And they asked me if I believed in God. And I said, yeah, I do. So they asked me if I was baptized. I said no. And then the question continued where, why I don't get baptized, and the importance of, fully committing yourself to God, and even just get involved and doing things, because you say you believe, why not go the extra mile to just really allow God to be within your life and to really take over fully. So
yes.
From that conversation, it just pushed me, and I made a decision God prompted me, and I went to the altar in 2013.
Awesome. And that was your life-changing moment.
Yeah.
When other things started to explode in your life.
Yes.
But if you could find one thing though, right? So based on the information I have, you're sub 30, right? You're not yet 30 years old.
No.
Okay, great. All right. So if you can find one biggest regret at this tender age, I'm going to call it, at this tender age in your life, what would that regret be?
Ask the question again.
Is there a regret at this stage of your life, when you look back? Is there anything that you regret doing and would probably want to do over? Get a chance to just, let me go back to this stage and fix this. Is there anything at your tender age?
No, I would.
Happy. I am very happy to hear that, because let me tell you, if you did ever pick on the ramping ring game, me and you, after you reach high school, do so well, you're going to regret ramping. Because that's the only thing I could say. I'm happy you regretted nothing. You must not live in regret. You must enjoy your life. and the stages, each stages. So when you move on to the next one and you do that one, and you do that one at the best. And that is what I keep seeing. Every time you share something, as it's like when you reach next stage, you say, okay, this is what I'm doing here. Reach next stage, this is what I'm doing here. So many persons who endure similar challenges, right? Didn't go to the high school of their dreams, even though they didn't work for it. They want to go to the high school of their dream and they didn't get there at that tender age. They get depressed. But you choose not to be depressed. You choose to challenge yourself and you pushed yourself. And so now you're in sixth form. What is happening in sixth form now? What is the big plan that you had? And did you execute?
All right, so sixth form. By this time, I identified myself as a science student, doing the math, doing the chemistry, the biology, and comm studies and carb studies. So, and then, well, going to Meadowbrook, I always wanted to go either to Meadowbrook or Arden. So that was another, wonderful thing where I was able to go to one of the schools that I wanted to go to from GSAT days. I had a lot of friends there, as I told you before, they passed the traditional high schools, and so they're there. When I went, I guess persons kind of like my classmates would know, and then the news kind of spread, saying, this is a young guy from Pembroke, and he talked about my grades and so on. So now I'm in a classroom with students from Campion, Woolmans, because sixth form, everybody can apply for a different school, and then they can. So that was my first taste of just being on a leveled field with persons who you thought would have been, way up there, and to just see the difference in the culture at a traditional high school. But I went there not intimidated or anything, because I saw what I went through. I saw what I was able to push through, going to both shifts and just really trying to just get out with quality grades through Pembroke. So I'm here, well seasoned from that experience at Pembroke High School, and just really looking to press on in the sciences at Meadowbrook. My experience at Meadowbrook, it was good. I was able to get prefect. I adjusted really well. Persons thought I was there from 7th grade. I just adjusted. And I went through, but at this time, as you asked me earlier, how things, as I tell you, in the earlier stage, things were like up there, nice and plenty. But as I got older, things were dwindling. So at this point in time, it was just me and mommy. We were living in Jewsland. We're living in Jewsland this time, so we're no longer in Corville. So we're at Jewsland. So it was easier to get bus to go up by Meadowbrook and so on. I don't think I don't start church yet. I didn't start coming to KOBC fully as yet.
Yeah.
And think, or did I? I could. Yeah, I didn't fully seasoned in church as yet. And then no, I think I did. I think fifth form at Pembroke, I wasn't yet at church, but then once I started sixth form, I started attending church. Right. So let me get the timeline. So I was coming to church, going to Meadowbrook, was I think at least for 1 year in 2012, just going and just seeing about the place. And then 2013, I accepted Christ. So things changed. So I did my first units. Got good grades. The math was rough. Pure math was rough for me, and it was an interesting experience. There's feeling like, from getting the math in 10th grade, I was like, yeah, reach of this. No math problem can come before me, and I can't mash it up. But
pumped up, ready to go.
Yeah, yeah. When I reached that subject called calculus, I had to adjust again. And then the teachers, there's an assumption, when they go to certain, there was an assumption for some of the teachers who taught me, especially math, where, I would have needed a little bit more slow pace, tutoring, but they were going a little bit fast for some of the time, and I didn't have the resources to afford, extra lessons that some of my peers would have had. So that was another little thing that, I had to be balanced, struggling with through sixth form, because everybody have them money, them can afford extra class. Them I got 3-4 extra classes to math, because CAPE wasn't easy. Chemistry and biology and math at CAPE was not an easy road. But we formed groups with my classmates and we did our thing. And I was able to pull through. I didn't fail anything. I got really good grades.
But there's this one question that Martin, that keeps coming back to me.
Mm-hmm.
What motivated you to keep pressing toward the prize? What motivated you? What would you say is that motivating factor that kept pushing you to press toward the prize?
I understood my reality.
Ah, very important. I like that. That's a gem. Understand your reality, people.
Yeah, I understood my reality because I was able to see the contrast between the wealthy and myself, and the things that, being able to afford, or to be able to afford the extra classes, be able to afford the textbooks, because some of the textbooks, luckily, thank God.
And that's what sixth form did for you.
Yeah, because it wasn't rental this time. You had to purchase the textbooks, purchase the study guides, and find friends who have past papers and so on. So just the resources that you needed, you had to have resources to purchase these things and find creative ways to either copy, photocopy our friends, some of the pages from the textbook.
Which is where I'm going now, Martin. That's where I'm going now. What are the coping mechanisms that you use to get to where you are now? Right. Other than understanding your reality, what are those coping mechanisms? Because people want to know, how are they gonna cope when they get faced? What is it that Martin did in particular? Those coping mechanisms.
Yeah, so I understood that I'm not the person who can read something one time and I retain everything. I have to read it multiple times. While some of my classmates were able to do that, I knew that I was not that type of person. So and then I was struggling with just being more assertive and reading, because I even didn't like reading aloud in class. I used to have some nervous breakdown sometimes, shaking, and my teachers would pick on me to say, get this thing done. So I had to practice. I had to practice a lot. And the library was definitely a place that you'd always see me, or under the almond tree at the front, doing my work and just trying to find persons who can help as best possible. And just finding persons with the resources, asking if I can get to copy the text, the different chapters and thing, reading, and I was able to get help also, from family friends who were able to even get me some of the textbooks eventually. And that was missing because I needed those for the subjects that I was doing. So copying the chapters, trying my best to work out something with teachers so that I can attend their extra classes on Saturdays, especially for maths. And sometimes we had marathons as well for the other classes. I would just still go, and they wouldn't necessarily say anything. They just still allowed me to go in. So I still just press, because I know where the content is. I know where, I had to seek out fire, because my meat.
Yes, indeed. You have raw meat of fire. Yeah, you have to seek out the fire. Good. So far, I've heard about some of your victories.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna call Pembroke a victory, let me tell you, because that is your stomping ground.
Yeah.
That pushed you to do your best, to challenge yourself. So your achievements at Pembroke, so I'm gonna say your achievement at GSAT, right? Yeah. Your achievement at Pembroke, heading now to Meadowbrook. Now you're at Meadowbrook and you're achieving again. And then it's now university time. How did that happen? Tell me about a university life.
All right, so finishing sixth form, my aim was to become a doctor, still continuing in the medical, in the sciences. So I just loved what I was doing. And then once you do math, chemistry, and biology, the most obvious field is the medical field. So my grades weren't all straight ones. So, the medical faculty, it's a very competitive one. So I didn't get through for there. I was accepted instead at science and technology. So this was another turning point again, you know.
No.
Yeah. So I went there. So there was two routes where, so going to university, remember things are going down, we're still going down, you know, still going down.
Yes.
You know, the funds and so on. So university coming now, the cost, I'm looking at the cost, even for med school and regular SciTech. And I was like, wow, I don't even have the first cent. I don't even have the first cent. But at this point in time, I was being mentored more, you know, as I say, I was fully in band, fully at church, fully, you know, by this time I was well seasoned, at least a year in Christendom, involved. So as I got baptized a few weeks after I got involved in ministry, and because I was in anti-communist class at this time, learned about the youth band, joined, and yeah, the rest is history from there. But the mentorship started there. You know, I was, when we were there, we were constantly exposed, our things were shared with us to look at. You might just be going to school, but you need to be thinking about what you're going to do next. And that helped me, and I was able to be
to plan that future.
Right. I was able to be paired with the older men also, to help me to really think about what I'm going to do, and to be encouraged to even apply for scholarships, and to find peers who they've been through these first year where they have applied, and to even, you know, link them and to, you know, see what did they do different, how did they write their proposals to the sponsors, and so so for the first year, can I remember? So I went, I went to school, didn't have the first cent, but I was encouraged, Martin, just go, start school, go to classes, go on. So I went, doing my labs, doing everything. So, you know, mid-semester's coming, so you have to pay, you have to at least cover the first
exam
money in order to sit the exams. I think by this time, the church helped. Yeah, church helped me for the most part of first year. I can't even remember the nitty-gritty as relates to sponsorship, but I know I was there, and, you know,
amen, the Lord provided, man.
You know, chomping here and there, and the one cocoa filled that basket right there. And for that I'm grateful. So, and remember, we're still going downward.
Still going down. Okay, so we're gonna fast track now to fourth year. Tell me about fourth year.
All right, so UE is 3 years. I had to sit out. I had to take a leave of absence because of
about our fourth year.
Yeah, right. I had to sit out. So I think it was right after our first year, because, you know, I could hardly find the money for the first semester. So I had to sit out and work and save, so that I was able to you know, finance the rest of the 2 years. So I spent 4 years at UB. So fast forward to 4 years. So at this time, I was able to improve my grades. You know, I had a few hiccups here and there with some courses, but I was able to improve my grades. I was able to get a scholarship from Chase Fund. Church was still there as well. So I pushed through. You know, I was able to work to save, got scholarships, and I still got, you know, the 1-1 cocoa still full in the basket to just push.
The basket. Martin, let me just stop you. You are not yet 30. I'm just reminding the audience. Yet you speak like an old man in a young man's body. Come on, Martin. I am going to call on Auntie Camille now to share with me. I'm going to break people because I have some things to share with you. And let Martin gather again and ready for us, because I'm telling you, this is so interesting. I wish I had all evening. How much time I have? How much time I have? Brit, how much time do I have with this young man or the old man in the young man's body? Because
you can continue.
What was that, Brit?
I say we're listening.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask Auntie Camille to share that video. Allow Auntie Camille to share that video that she has. A little bit about this. old man in the young man's body. So people, I wanted to enjoy this slideshow of Martin. For all that he has told us so far, I wanted to pay attention because the rest of it, he's going to tell us about. Okay? So sit back and enjoy this video.
So that's mommy, my sister, that's little me.
It's little Martin here.
Yeah.
Continue, Auntie Camille. And this is mommy.
Yeah, that's mommy up there. So this is band year, see, 2013.
Right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
And what
started.
is happening over here?
So this here is a much more recent photo. So it's basically showing the graduation from that stage. I'm a seasoned singer.
Okay. Wow. You have to tell me a little
Let me
about
just
that
add
singing.
something, Stacey. In
Yes, man, that singing part there.
Yes, at 2013 it did start, and you see me in his little shorts, there's Miami Vice shorts that were called, and Auntie Gan was always with them rehearsing, you know, so they were either preparing a Men in Praise item or something,
Yes.
you know, and as you said, these are, as you see, we went over the years, it's almost 10 years, and we have gone to 54C, we have gone to Harbor View. You know, there are some of the shots there right here at our home church.
This is very
Yeah.
involved, Martin.
Very involved, very involved.
Continue with that Auntie.
Right here is a picture with him, Summer Crusade. Martin would come down. Every summer, that's Brother Neil there preparing. So the sun hot, no chairs are there. That's how the church looked before the Summer Crusade start, you know, and he's there helping to set up chairs, set up the equipment. Follow down, this is one of the Summer Crusades where the band was invited. That's Martin there, closest to us, ministering. This slide here is Martin, some snapshots of Martin over the years in rehearsal. I remember even counting up, we've done ministry over 10 years, and if you should count up the number of hours that Martin has given to ministry, if you should add them all together, it would probably add up to about 3 full years of his life.
Wow.
So that's him there in VBS, one VBS 2013. There's another year there where, as I say, young men, if you see him here in his uniform, they used to leave school and come down and rehearse, you know. VBS was a big thing for us in the band every year. That was the thing.
Yes.
You see them there having some fun. Went to Portland also. We went to Portland to minister all the way at one of their services. And here is Martin. I don't know if I want to go too far yet.
Yes, man, we're right there at graduation. So I want to stop right there.
Sure.
I want to stop at the graduation. Graduation happened in 2019. So tell me now, pause right there, Camille. I want you to leave it right there on the screen. People, understand, this is the same little Martin that did not go to the traditional high school. I was placed at Pembroke and he felt broken. He felt like that's the worst thing that happened to him as far as him concerned. And he challenged himself and he pushed himself towards that prize and he ended up getting the subjects he wanted, headed off to the sixth form of his choice. And now he's at university. Struggle through, focused. Remember, Martin told us at the beginning how focused he is. A focused little old man in a young man's body. Okay? Yeah, that is Martin for me. And now he's graduating. And things are still dwindling, Martin? Were things still dwindling here? Or things some start to shine now?
Started shining.
After graduation, what happened? I want to hear what happened after graduation. You're still in ministry. Based on what I am seeing on these photos, you are ingrained in ministry. You're busy, you're in your school uniform, you're coming to church to rehearse, you're in the mix of it. You are not stopping. You are praising God. You're just soaking up the ministry.
Yeah.
And you're progressing. So now you said things, sun start to shine. Tell me about the sunshiny times.
All right, so bear in mind, graduation is in November, and I would have finished the year from May.
Mhm.
That was so good that because I remember I'd worked for a while, and I did summers at housing agency, and I did an extended period of time working there, and I was able to save. So just and I think, well, I don't think, I know it's from my involvement in ministry and the commitment that I had learned how to, to commit to something that you're doing. And they saw these very soft traits, these very soft skills that I had, and they welcomed me like says, for example, school finished the Friday of this week. So Monday coming, I starting job, I starting working. So I'm working the following Monday. So at this time, where are we? We're not Mountain View. So past Jerusalem, we're
So
not.
we move again.
Yeah. So we're moving.
So we are Windward Road. Is Windward Road is the beginning?
No, Harborview.
Harborview. Oh, that side. They're not out that side to Martin.
True.
Harborview. Corville.
And there were several
Jerusalem.
movements in Corville. Yeah, Jerusalem. Yeah, several movements in Corville. There's even New Haven in doing the park there, but we lived there as well.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a rough time for
You're
us.
moving. You do island tour.
Yeah.
So no, you're aware now. Mountain View.
Yeah, right. Mountain
Tell me
View.
about that.
And all right, so we're at Mountain View, and it was a blessing to be there because it's much closer to school now. And I was in my final semesters, final year. And being so close, it was very easy for me to just, so I wasn't working, I was just doing full time this time, going to school, doing the all-nighters, because as I tell you from earlier, I don't retain things so easy. So I have to repeat, I have to, go over and study and study and
Do a
study.
little more than everybody else.
Yeah. And so I'm still at SciTech and I'm doing molecular biology. That's my major.
Ooh.
So that still wasn't an easy feat either. The labs were interesting, dealing with viruses, dealing with DNA and RNA. Look to me, I deal with them very interesting molecules there, and sequencing and all these fancy things. So yeah, doing all of that, going through the same reality going on. My lunch would have been, like sugar bun and cheese and juice or something. Fancy. Fancy. Could afford the KFC that that person should have been able to afford, but I pushed through and I was able to successfully finish. And even though I had to repeat, I still was able to gel with my year group and find good. You can't finish college by yourself. You still have to have a group to just help with the entire nature of college. Yeah. And remember, I'm doing all of this, still in church. So church was like my home ground. So all of the reality going on, but when I reached the church, reached with my band members, reached with my family, it's just a different environment, and you're encouraged, you're motivated. When I dwell in the word, I'm encouraged even more. So to just listen and to just remember the God that I serve is the God of abundance. He's the God of the unimaginable. So I'm going through. I'm being affirmed that I can do this. I can do this with God's help.
So I remember Martin. Let's pick up in. I remember once, I saw you in the Men of Vision.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Because you would have been the youngest member in the Men of Vision at the point in time when I saw you being the Men of Vision. Why did this young man, at the time you were a little boy, find yourself in the midst of these old men? Yeah. What kind of trick you was up to?
I was being formed. I was being molded. So, from the earlier stages, we're always mentored. And Auntie Camille would have been my mentor there, but she saw that, I'm growing up. Yes. I need, I need the man mentor.
Man mentoring.
So I was encouraged. So me and Daniel, will be there at MOV, and we ask the questions. We're encouraged to speak up. We're encouraged to ask the questions, and the topics were good. And we come down, absorbed, asked questions, amongst the men there at church, and some of the men, they were able to, father us, indirectly father us, and constantly asking, how is school, how is everything going, and we were able to share, and they were able to help, tangibly help, and really just guide us through this. So I was being mentored. I was still involved in ministry. I was being affirmed.
Yes.
God, I was being affirmed in ministry, because you'd give you a little trouble, you're still a farm, you might think so this your way is the right way. So you might have like a tension here and there, or because I was still being formed, still being molded as I went on, as I find my identity in Christ. And as you asked me earlier, no regrets. Still moving on, no regrets. No regrets putting in the time going to Bible study. No regrets, being involved and going to different churches and just being able to minister. And I was shy, I was nervous, but I still breaking, still learning and forming the vocals. Because I remember sometimes I'm there singing, and the voice would go because of nerves, and so on. I had to be drinking even the pasta water. I remember one time.
You expect some miracle from the pasta water.
It was an interesting road, and as I say, no regrets. So going back to you, Christian, so finishing college, as I say, things turned now. So mommy would have changed job. It was her alone before, but then, I was working. I was able to contribute, and things got much better.
Yes.
Much better. So we're still there. And I was still coming from Mountain View, going to Overcomers on Fridays, going to Bible study on Tuesdays. So the distance didn't affect me. Still coming to church, still involved. Still coming to church at 45 on time. Yeah. So I'm there.
Awesome. Every great person has, yes. Martin, you strike me as a great little person. Every great person has a support system that helps to keep them focused and keep pressing.
Yeah.
What is your greatest support system?
All right.
And how do you stay grounded?
So my greatest support system is the band. I think all of us were going through different stages, and we had to work together. And there are different times when, reggae is, Martin's kind of style of singing. And now and then Martin probably might hear the girls that sing the more Hillsong type of songs, and you might want to try those type of things. But then, they were being able to be, chiseled and be corrected and taking correction and listening, yeah. My core was definitely the band. I learned a lot there. I was mentored a lot in the band. I was exposed to other mentors. I was exposed to other avenues that I can look at to grow spiritually, to grow as an individual, to grow as a man, and definitely Reverend Henry, and just the very small little things, the little encouragement, the little your time must not be below your belt, and those little small little things that just help me to form me into the man that I am today. And I'm still informed, I'm still adjusting, and God's still chiseling. But I would definitely say that God has been, well, where I'm at now and what I've been going through, it couldn't have been me, couldn't have been my expertise alone. It had to be, my source.
Yes.
And just being exposed to the mentorship, being exposed to God's word, and just constantly being at church and hearing and just knocking heads with my fellow, peers, and hearing their story, hearing how they have trusted God and how they have testified, and what God has done for them. And I say, okay, if God can do that for them, He must can do that for me too,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I believe in speaking things into being. Some people call that manifestations, but I want to know, what kind of self-thought do you currently practice, and how has that changed over the years, if it has?
Um, Self-talk. So for me, I would doubt, and for what I have to do is to work on that, work on the things that I say to myself, work on the fact that I'm able to do things. I can do this particular thing. I might be intimidated by how big or God might be saying, God, Martin, this is the road that I wanted to go on.
Yes.
And I'm like, really me? I probably still see myself as good to me and so on, but God has said, no, you're growing up, you're getting bigger. You can do much more. You have been able to manage these smaller things. Try this bigger thing. And
Yes.
over time, even through counseling and just being able to, really just sit down, look to the scriptures, look within myself and just pray about certain things that I've struggled with my just being with my identity, who I am, and just forming that just through observing other older Christians, forming my identity by being corrected. So my self-taught was to observe, practice, and just keep on correcting the small little errors that I might be making each day. Keep correcting. That's one of the things that I'm doing now. Correcting small errors, because small positive changes result in big expansive results. So I'm working on that now.
Absolutely. I'm loving that. So what is your greatest achievement to date? I'm fast forwarding to now.
All right.
So how old are you, by the way? If you don't mind telling the audience.
I am 27 years old.
I already telling you a sub 30. And you're saying
I'm 27.
You're full 27 no matter now, you're pushing your age.
Absolutely.
All right. So now you tell me, what is your greatest achievement to date? You 27-year-old man in a young man's body. Tell me, what is your greatest achievement?
Wow, my greatest achievement would be the fact that I have been able to acquire. So I've not moved in as yet, but I've been able to acquire my first home.
Woo! Come on, people, give it up for Martin. Come on, man. Let me hear some applause. Come on, man. People. Open your mics and just applaud. This is awesome. 27 people, come on.
Go, Martin.
Yeah.
Feeling the love. Feeling the love.
Thank you, guys.
Martin, you can see we are all happy for you. At 27, come on. Camille, roll that video. Let me see what is good. Oh, that's the house there. What? Camille, you want to tell me what is happening there in those photos?
But Martin is best able to share, it's his house.
Well, you missed some pictures, Camille. I noticed you're fast, so you have to go back up a little bit.
This was the housing agency season.
Oh, so that's the season of the house. That's where you are now.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm a manager, and so this is also a support group that I've adapted as well. Because even if Auntie could go up, you can see this picture down here. These are my co-workers, my manager and co-workers are there at graduation.
The other way, Camille, down. We're at HAG now, right, down. Okay.
And definitely mommy, because mommy was there coaching me from
absolutely.
Yeah.
I can only imagine. Mommy has been there. So with all of this greatness, and young people, younger people, because you're only just going like you're old still, trust. But Martin, this is fabulous. I must tell you, I am very, very proud of you. This is saying to others in this audience with us tonight, saying that, listen, you can do this. This is not only for the Martins.
No.
This is doable, but you have to be focused. That's a word I remember you dropped from the beginning. You have to be focused. You have to have a support system. You have to have I'm going to call it a strategy, a way to move forward. You can't stay at the same place and mull on that spot for too long. You have to keep pressing. And I want you all to pay attention to those little things, because that is what got Martin here. There was no giving up. I don't hear any giving up from the food days to the no food days. From Harborview to Jerusalem, I skip out some, to ramping in big ring game, to sixth form. Come on, people. You can do this. There is nothing preventing you. But another thing I noticed is that Martin had God engraved in his life. He stayed involved in his ministry because that is where his mentorship for his spiritual life was. And so you can do all of this while you are yet a young Christian. So as Auntie Camila said at the beginning, God is not just for a moment. He is for your entire life, and you can do everything that you are doing and bring him along with you. There is no need to leave Jesus until you achieve all the things that you want to achieve. Carry him along with you, because that is what Martin did. Am I correct, Martin?
Yes. Yes, you are.
Did I capture that well? Because that's what I am feeling. And you didn't leave him. Once you pick him up, like things, sun starts shine. Don't seem like the sunniest time for me in this interview that I see. Because the other days is when you still a peep through the curtain. But then the sun started to shine when you pick him up. So it wasn't by chance that you were placed at Meadowbrook. You were placed there so that he could capture you right where he wanted you to help you to grow and blossom into this young man that we are seeing today. The unimaginable is still happening.
Amen.
You're going through university without money. Without money, to the point now where you are a homeowner. Martin, what is it that you would want? I mean, there are a lot of young people nowadays who are going through different mental strains and stuff because of this new era that we are in. What would you say to them if you had an opportunity to say something to those young people who are beating up on themselves? Oh, I'm not bright enough. Oh, I'm not at the school that I want to go. Oh, my parents poor. Oh, I don't even know how I'm going to get to church. I mean, I have no car. Martin, you have a car yet?
No, not as yet.
I love where you said that. Not as yet. People, you listen to that? That's what I'm picking up. Not as yet. So there is a plan. And yet still Martin was at early service. Pay attention, people. So there's nothing stopping him from finding a way to come service God. Martin, what would you say to them? What would you say to these young people who feel like they can't do this? This is only for some people. It's not for me. That's his life, not mine. What would you say to them?
What I would say, everybody, is that it might seem intimidating at first, but you have to understand the reality and really just seek out the opportunities. Take away pride, take away, the fact that, take away the self-sabotaging thoughts that you might be telling
Like
yourself,
that.
and find yourself in that can really help to motivate you and guide you along a path that would see you resolving all or most of the issues that you're having. So just like me, I had to seek out, I had a problem where I could afford most of the textbooks, copying the textbooks from my classmates who had the textbook. I wasn't able to afford, speak to persons, get sponsorship. You had to go, and as they say, if you have raw meat, you have to go seek the fire. I needed encouragement, I needed mentorship, I needed, to grow spiritually. I was involved in ministry, and through that, I was able to be exposed, to an environment that was able to stir me in a direction that says, Martin, you can achieve, you can have the best. You are deserving of the best, just remain faithful to God and just allow him to do the rest. So everybody seek, and find, knock, and the doors open. Trust
Absolutely. Martin, I want to take you out in fine lifestyle. What do you do in your free time?
What do I do in my free time? All right. So in my free time, I exercise. I read. So I read, well, I listen books. So I listen audiobooks and I sleep. And I'll also read my devotions and read my Bible. So yeah.
So people, that question was it, hook, line, and sinker. I want you to know that Martin is an ordinary young man that the Lord has made extraordinary. Him do regular things like me and you. Oh no, I forget say me 51 or something, not in that me and you think. Okay, him do he do ordinary things like all of you.
Yes.
Okay, so he's youthful and yet still he finds time to do all the things he do and hang on his Jesus. Martin, this has been a very informative interview. And I just want to thank you for sharing. And I'm going to call this a testimony of your life with us. Because that's what I see it as, a testimony. I just know that someone here, well, most of us here listening, I don't know who would not feel blessed by what you have shared. I want to know if anybody have any questions for Martin. Camille, do you see any questions in the chat? I mean, if you have any questions for Martin, people, now is the time, because I mean, once he's gone, because you know, him have big plans to go buy the car, so him have to go focus on that project, and him have to go Nice City and talk to Jesus. He not have time to talk to we because he's focusing on the next big thing. Okay, so any questions in the chat? Let me see. Camille, you have anything for me? For Martin?
Anything in the chat, just
I tell you, Martin, in the chat, blow up. People are so proud of you. Could those links, okay, so somebody's asking for the links in the chat. They're clapping it. Okay, some people saying, hi, Auntie, really? I'm proud of you. iPhone, I don't know who iPhone is, but iPhone said, I'm proud of you, my little brother. Go, Martin. Very, what's that? V, I'm really so inspired by your story, Martin. It's so important to share our journey. You never know who you impact. And I just love that. It's so truthful. You'd never know who you are impacting by sharing your story. And I can't thank you enough. Well done, brother. Very meaningful, says John. Proud mom. Oh, mommy is here. Hi, mommy. I'm not going loud at mommy more than say hi, mommy. Mommy, we just want to big you up. We want to thank you for what you have done with this little young man here, the old man in the young man's body. He has made you proud. He has made all of us proud. Any question there? No more, nothing for Martin? All right, Martin. I just want to...
Daniel has a question.
Go ahead, Daniel.
So question, Martin. What is your next move from here? So you already stated that.
We're not hearing.
I can't hear you, Daniel.
You guys hearing me now?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, cool. So Martin, so what is your next move from here? So you have already gotten the degree, you have already bought the house, right? So I have two questions. This is the first one. What is your next move from here? So you know you have your 5-year plan. So you have crossed off majority of some of the things on your 5-year plan. What is your next move from here?
So my next move. So I'm prayerfully, seeking God as relates to just being financially stable, being able to just educate myself so that once I have gotten wealth, I can keep it and keep generating wealth, to be a much more grounded, to continue to grow in my faith in God and continue to, be able, continue to testify, continue to be a testimony for God's goodness, and to also just keep progressing, keep, making moves to just do better so that I can benefit and so that others can benefit too, in both a tangibly and non-tangible way. So those are my next goal, and even and also to praying that God will, bless me with a partner, the relationships will be coming next and so on and things. So yeah,
absolutely.
Starting family and so on. So yeah.
Martin, do you mentor? Do you mentor anyone now?
I do.
Awesome. All that old man behavior can't go to waste. You have to hear it. I love that. Yes, that is giving back. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Any other questions for Martin? Well, okay, I'm not gonna push you all, but I must say thank you. Thank you all for coming out. I mean, we could not have had a successful program without you. All 47 of us came together and has made this. Martin, do you have any final words you want to say before we close out? I hand back over to Britt.
I also want to say thanks for everyone who joined, and I can see the support team in the chat, just the same, seeing them in the participants. That's really everybody, they know themselves, the contributors, the mentors, you know, everybody who just really just welcomed me in their family, welcomed me, you know, in their space to just really help to form this young man that you're seeing here today, speaking to you, you know. So yeah, I just want to express my gratitude to the department, my gratitude to Kingston Open Bible Church for the support and the love to, yeah, that's what I would like to say.
Awesome. People, I wanted to use the reaction and just show some love for Martin at this time. Please use your reactions, show some love. Yes, loving it right now. Loving it, loving it, loving it. Any emoji that you like, just show some love.
Thank you, Rosie.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Britt, I want to hand over to you. It has been a wonderful session. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Auntie Stacey. Thank you, Martin, for speaking. Auntie Janet has something to say?
No.
Oh, you're just react. Okay. Auntie, can we have anything to add, or I will just close off?
No man, Auntie Stacey did a great job.
Okay. Jordan, you have something to say? No.
Oh yeah, I do actually, real quick. You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we're here, New Jordan.
All right, yeah. So I just want to say a good presentation, Martin. You know, I actually personally learned a lot from you. I'm everybody here, you know, I'm 19. I learned a lot from each and every person here. And Martin was one of the main figures as a male to, you know, teach me. I remember in November, I left the overcomers group for like a day. In November, I was like, you know, going through a rough time. And Martin was the first person who actually reached out to me. And he talked to me on the phone, and it just showed that brotherly love and respect for us, you know. And to see how far he has come and his journey is just a blessing. And also want to say, yo, respect, brother. And you're going to be big in life, and just big up yourself, isn't it?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Jordan.
Okay, so thank you, guys.